Everybody, it's Pete. Good morning. Welcome to a new episode of today's Best Stock Picks. It's Friday morning, July 24th, 2020. Well, the market finally saw a little bit of selling yesterday, again on really light volume. The SPY ETF had under 40 million shares traded at, I think, 2:30 in the afternoon yesterday. Just to give you some context on that, the average volume is around 95 million. So with 2/3 to 80% of the day done, it was at less than half of what it normally does. A lot of market on close orders came in at the end of the day, which skewed the number higher. But if you were trading the market, you know that it was much lighter volume, and we've had much lighter volume. The average daily totals are a little bit deceiving, not in a sinister kind of way, because those are actual trades. But at the end of the day, you get all these market on close orders that makes the market look like it had what it normally does, and it's just not the case. We actually were commenting a few times during the day that it feels like the market's like a balloon just bouncing back and forth right now and not really making a lot of sense, which is another reason why we actually trade the open very aggressively and why you have to be really prepared for the open, because it's predictable. And when I say predictable, I don't mean that we know exactly where it's going, although that is a good part of game planning. You have X amount of stocks going into the day, and if only two of them do exactly what you planned for, you could make your day in the first 90 minutes, if not the first hour. My point is, when I say predictable, you get predictable volume and volatility out of the open, because there's all these there's my orders, your orders, everybody's game plan coming into the day, and we start executing that as soon as the market opens. It's much easier to place your trades with conviction because you expect follow through, and generally speaking, you'll know if you'll get followed through right away. You're either right or wrong on the trade, and you're looking to add to it, or you manage a position that's not working out. So we got some interesting ideas today. A few breakout trades, a few stocks that have actually rolled over. A lot of the stocks, if you've been watching the channel and you're a regular viewer, and if you're not, please subscribe to get the updates. We've been saying that something was changing in the market. We've been saying the tape was changing. We've been saying probably for a better part of 10 days right now that, yes, we still want to be a buyer, but I've been saying it. And anybody in the room with me, and anybody in our community can tell you, I've been saying, work the orders, work the orders, work the orders, which meant I was trying to keep your share size lower in less than perfect conditions in case the market rolled over hard like it did yesterday. You had less share size, you didn't get hurt, and now you're in good position to start looking for some of these bullish stocks to maybe pull back one more day. I don't know. We're going to talk about Apple in a second, where it actually finally pulled back to the 20-period moving average. But again, you're trading the news. Apple is now a big part of this U.S.-China tension, for lack of a better way of putting it. I know they're moving into India a bit, but right now it's a stock that's being affected by it. So you're saying to yourself, am I trading the Apple pullback because I like the price and it pulled back enough? Or do I not like it because this tension could get worse and the stock could pull back? I still like the stock long. Full disclosure, I went long yesterday afternoon looking for a bounce today. It's opening a little bit lower today. I'm looking for it to come back because the stock is strong and I want to be long strong stocks. So let's take a look at some of the charts today. But the biggest thing that I want to get across here today, I have been harping on the fact that the tape was changing, and it did not mean to no longer be a buyer. I still was looking to buy stocks. I was predominantly looking on the long side. There's a few stocks like maybe Netflix that rolled over a bit, but the long side, the buying opportunities have the higher probability for making money. But we were saying to work your orders, which meant that the conviction level on those long opportunities, on those opportunities to buy, was lower. So if you were listening and following, and especially if you're in the community, I was harping on it, you would not have been hurt yesterday. You might have taken losses. You probably took losses yesterday, but you didn't take a big loss because you were managing and reading the tape. If you don't understand how to read the tape and adjust your share size, you absolutely need to get into the boot camp. Click down and learn. It's 30 days of amazing training. Let's go to the charts. Let's take a look at Apple. We'll take a look at the SPY, and then we'll look at some opportunities. I think AMD, which was actually the featured video yesterday, was really, hopefully you took advantage of that. And another one of our swing trades, Space, SPCE, that we initiated a week ago, I think came within 12 cents of our profit target. So hopefully you got out. We had two targets, 28 and 38. And with the market starting to see some selling yesterday was the day when it just came close to getting up there. Hopefully you at least had a trailing stop up at that level and you were paying attention and adjusting to the market, which, by the way, is another thing to understand. You can't trade in a vacuum. You can't be like, I'm just going to stay long and I'm not going to pay attention to anything else. you have to watch what's going on. If the market starts to see heavy selling and you're this close to your profit target, you might want to move up that trailing stop and get a little bit more aggressive with putting that money in your pocket and ringing the register. So we're going to take a look at some charts. We're going to look at some opportunities for today. Obviously, we're going to start with Apple. Apple's looking like it's opening a little bit lower again here this morning, down 4 and change. Just to give you an example, that was the 20-period moving average that we were looking to bid into. It did look like yesterday there was starting to find some support. Obviously traded lower, obviously opened lower. So I'm going to be looking, and again, using what I'm preaching, I did not go in with heavy share size because of the heavy pullback. I'm looking to start building a position, looking for it to turn around. And quite honestly, if it doesn't, that's a part of trading. Man up, put on your big boy overalls and deal with it. That's a part of trading, especially if you want to trade a stock that's $380. If you want to keep your exposure low and not trade something that moves, trade Bank of America. That's another way to put it. Speaking of that, we actually had some relative strength yesterday in some of these regional banks. Wells Fargo saw some really good buying yesterday, and these are relative strength to what the market was doing yesterday. Obviously, we just looked at the market trading lower, and we actually called out a trade in Lennar, I think about 6 or 7 trading days ago, where we noticed the market took a really strong hit. Lennar closed on the highs, and the next week Lennar followed through. So we actually have WFC and PNC, not tremendous opportunities, but what we're noticing is relative strength to the market taking a hit yesterday. And the Lennar trade that I'm talking about was this day here, where the market closed very weak and Lennar closed on the highs, and you can see that we actually gapped up and followed through. Not a monster move to the upside, but relative strength matters. Relative strength is there's something going on in that stock. And again, all of these pieces are reading the tape. So obviously we want to talk about AMD. AMD exploded after hours yesterday. You can see it's actually up 6.77% of $4. We called the breakout here. We said we wanted to see it above this level. And then we got this one monster day for day trading. I did not carry the overnight. I was clear about that yesterday. Some members of the community did. Yesterday we sold off, but if you traded as a swing trade, you should not have been shaken out of the trade, and today you're getting paid. We actually made a call in yesterday's video that we said 64 was the profit target. So you can go back to the video and take a look at that. So this will be in the list today as a stock that has active volume that should be followed up by volatility. WDC, also really good new 20-day breakout. Did not close on the highs, but it looks like 50 is the next level. So $4 to $5 for the next level. But this is really where the interesting trade comes in. If we get above 50 and stay there as a swing trade, 60 would be the next level. So the trade here is to work a position between here and 50. Again, I keep calling working the orders because it's not a perfect trade. It's still kind of stuck in this box, but relative strength to the entire market. A couple of other stocks in the sector seeing buying. If we get up and past this level, 60 is the next one. Now, you can come back and say, well, that's the right price, right? I keep talking about that. If it doesn't get through that level, you're sitting there between 46 and 50. There's nothing wrong with waiting till above 50. I'm just mapping out a different scenario where if you want to have 1/3 of your share size up to that level, that's a valid strategy too. I tend to stay away from it and wait for it to get above that level. I want to be involved in trades that have room to go, not so much working them. I want my money working 5 days. I want my money working 5 days as an active trader. So either one matters, but here's the key. Note relative strength to the market. That's the longer term picture for the next few ideas for that stock. Another one, relative strength to the market yesterday, HCA has continued to pound. We actually said this breakout at 116 was the level we'd be looking for. Now it's through there. So the question is it too late to initiate a swing trade? Well, the stock just trailed $25 in 3 days. That's a little bit much for this stock, but you can see that's not what it normally does. I do like the fact that it's now over the 116 level. What I'd like to see here is for the stock to pause for a couple of days and then next week look for a run at 132. So if we can get this to pull back to 120, looking for a run to 132, that would be the trade. Lulu was a breakout that we looked at the other day that actually has not followed through. I liked it through the level. I got long through the level, and now it's pulled back. So you just reevaluate. This stock, the bottom line in this stock is over 320 is where the consideration should be. If you got long with me, it went up. We had a profitable trade, pulled back. Big deal. That's a part of trading. For every one that pulls back, you get 3 that don't pull back, follow through, and you get paid. So again, it's a part of trading. Let's see. Foot Locker. You know, yesterday we had noticed the get outside stocks like Dick's Sporting Goods and Lennar and Home Depot and Lowe's and all those stocks pushing through for whatever reason. And again, don't look for the reasons. It's pushing through. That's all you need to know. You trade. If it starts to move against you, the reasons don't matter. If it starts to move in your favor, the reasons don't matter. It's going up, and we've identified it. Right now, Foot Locker actually punched through and has some room to go to 35. Is it a great swing trade right now? No, it's the first time it's breaking out of a 8-week trading range. Let it get above that level, stay there for more than one day, because you can see when it gets up there, it's been coming back. If it stays above that level today, then we start looking for a new swing trade, looking at probably around the 36, 37 area. Abbott Labs was another one that we liked yesterday that actually did not close near the highs, but did close strong again. As long as it stays above 100, I'm looking to be long. Congratulations to everybody who messaged me yesterday in this stock. LVGO actually had a super strong punch through yesterday as day traders. And I'll just give you an idea. This was the trade yesterday before the market started to roll over. So again, I kept talking yesterday, work the order, work the order, work the order. We had this right here is in this area here is our favorite entry, and even prior to that over here. So we had two really solid entries before the stock exploded. The market started to roll over. That's where you would tighten up your trailing stop and get a little greedy on a day where we just haven't been getting the follow through. I know we got it on Monday, but really the rest of the week has been kind of choppy. Next is a stock that I haven't watched in a while, Micron as well. And this is not a stock that I would normally day trade. You can see it tends to go into these boxes. But again, stock making a new 20-day high when the market is getting hit. That's something interesting. So that's going to be something I'm going to pay attention to in the week going forward as well. On the short side, Netflix seems to have cracked a little bit, and the next level down is 440. I'm not saying it's an A+ short sale, but it's certainly a much, much tougher long. If you're looking to buy the stock, this story has changed. The tape has changed. After earnings and after guidance, this is not the same story it was as it was moving higher with conviction. So again, if you want to trade it, watch the video we did this morning for Stocks for Breakfast about how to buy the right stocks. This is not necessarily the right stock to buy right now because we're pulling back and the tape has changed. Same thing with Analog Devices, ADI. It was in a box. We were looking for it to retest the highs and get above this 120, 122 level. It didn't. Now it's breaking down. So this one might even be a little bit more of a short sale potential, because if we do what we normally talk about with drawing trend lines, this stock actually has broken the trend line and rolled over now. So you can see that it clearly has started to push to the downside. So I still don't believe the best opportunities right now are to start looking for shorts. I definitely believe that the long side of the market is still the stronger one. You can't ignore 4 or 5 months of solid buying and just say yesterday you couldn't wait to buy the stock and today you can't wait to short it. That's going to drain your account if that's how you continue to think. So stick with strong stocks, but you need criteria for how aggressively you build those positions. 2 weeks ago, a lot more conviction because we were seeing higher highs, higher lows, closing stronger every day on the monthly, weekly, and daily charts. We're not seeing that now. And again, if you're a regular viewer of the channel, you've been hearing me say the tape changed. It did not mean to start short selling. You could still buy. You were just buying differently. You were looking for feedback from the market, and as those positions moved in your favor, you would add to them. If they pulled back and they were losing trades, less shares. You didn't get hurt because you recognized the tape changed. And that's what it means to grow your trading account. That's the method, that's the process for correctly growing your trading account, which is having more share size when the trade opportunities are perfect, lower share size, and waiting for feedback when it's less than perfect. You can make an argument, why take a trade that's less than perfect? That's a pretty damn good argument. But these stocks are still strong. You can still buy them. Just buy them and build the position as opposed to buying them with your full share size because the circumstances have changed. If you have any questions about this or learning to read the tape, definitely click down and learn about the boot camp or leave me a comment in the underneath the video. Have a great day, everybody.